Welcome to my channel. As a layperson, I like to share my understanding of Scripture. I'll be talking about Mark 7 and showing that in the Middle East there's an honor-dishonor, zero-sum situation. The Greco-Roman society lives in a guilt and shame system, but the Middle East live in a honor-dishonor, zero-sum system. This is important to know when reading the Scriptures. The Pharisees and scribes had their own religious traditions, which they enslaved the people with. They had what seemed like an endless list of do's and don'ts. That is why Paul stated in Galatians that in his day, Jerusalem was in slavery. And I think the same could be said for today. This is why Yeshua said to put on his yoke, because his burden was light. In contrast, the Pharisees, scribes, placed a heavy burden on the people with traditions that often invalidated God's instructions. Mark 7, verse 2. The disciples were eating bread with impure or unwashed hands. Well, this washing was a ceremonial washing, a ritual established by the Pharisees, and had really nothing to do with clean hands. There is no instructions in the Torah that you have to wash your hands each time. I think God giving us a brain, we should know if our hands are dirty, that we should just wash them. At the wedding feast in Cana, there was water of these ceremonial jars in clay jars, which Yeshua polluted by turning this water into wine, because the ritual of the ceremonial washing did not come from God, the Torah, and His Torah. Why this bothered the Pharisees and scribes so much was because when people stopped following their traditions and following Yeshua's teachings, they were losing honor in their sight of their society, and Yeshua was gaining honor. It's a zero-sum system. Whatever Yeshua gains, well, they would lose. Verse 6. These people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far away from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching as doctrines the precepts of men. Neglecting the commandments of God, you hold on to the traditions of men. Now you may ask, why is it important to understand that the Scripture function under an honor-dishonor system? Every time we honor God by keeping His commandments, we dishonor the God of this world. Every time we honor the God of this world, we dishonor God. So the big question is, are we honoring God by keeping His commandments? Or are we honoring the God of this world by neglecting the commandments of God and holding on to traditions of men? Thank you for watching, and study to show yourself approved.